Welcome back, guys, to another video. If you're looking to make money, you're looking to make money part-time for yourself, running your own business, this is for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Preston. I've been a recruitment agency owner for over 14, 15 years. I've helped hundreds of people find their dream jobs, work with some of the best companies, find rock stars for the team, and always appreciate you taking your time to check this out. But before we get into this video, if you want to learn more about me or find ways on how you can work and partner directly with me, check out the box below. We got exciting things from our free newsletters to our consulting business recruiter school, and even a really cool way you can partner with me and my team to do 5-6-figure placements in our Vault program. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. So in this video, I want to talk about how you can hit $50,000 in a month as a solo recruiter. So a $50,000 per month as a solo service business is really not a fantasy. It does not require a team. You don't need an office. You don't need a marketing budget. It requires a clear, thought out game plan, a clear niche, a working pipeline, and a repeatable, consistent process. The top quartile of independent recruiters in a study in 2024 in specialized niches reports average monthly billings of $38,000 to $65,000. I know these are big numbers, but I'm happy to break it down for you in just a quick second. The deal math is much simpler than you actually think. Most people never see $50,000 months in life because they overcomplicate the model. The deal structure is very straightforward. So you got a couple different paths. Paths A, let's say you got 2 placements done at $150,000 salary. Maybe you locked in a 20% fee. You're looking at $60,000 gross. Or perhaps you got plan B, where maybe you did 3 placements at $120,000 salary. Your fee percentage is a little bit lower at 17%. You still made over $61,200 gross. What's the variable, you might ask? Well, it's really not effort. It's not the hustle. It's the pipeline quality. It's the niche clarity in addition to other levers like the salary, fee percentages, etc. Recruiters with a defined niche and documented process close placements at 2.4x the rate of generalist recruiters working equivalent pipelines. I talk about this ad nauseum in so many other videos. There's really no pros and cons or what's worse, what's better. You can do whatever you want, but there are clear evidence and studies and even personal experience that show that being specialized, being focused, having a clear niche over doing every single role on the planet is significantly easier, and it's going to allow you to work a lot smarter, enabling you to really enjoy the fruits of the compounding power of being able to do a focused amount of similar placements than a large amount of different placements where you're simply going to work yourself out too thin and you're going to really start burning out. Now, what does a $50,000 pipeline actually look like? Let me kind of break it down for you. So this is not a quote unquote busy pipeline. It's a very focused one. Quality over quantity. So step number 1, we like to say on average, you want to have at least 8 to 12 active searches going. Again, this is an average. You can also be a lot more conservative with probably 4 to 7, but 8 to 12 just to play it safe, open simultaneously across your niche on your desk at any given time. Not 1 or 2. You want to have a good number because, as you may or may not know, not all clients are equal. And just because you have clients, just because you have access to roles, doesn't mean you can actually bill them. Anything can happen in recruitment. Offer can go through, a client can close roles, your candidate can withdraw the process or get another offer elsewhere. You want to make sure you're diversified and you always have plan Bs. Number 2, you also want to strive for having 3 to 5 final stage candidates at any given time. The more final stage candidates you have, the more offers you're going to have. The more offers you're going to have, the more offers that will convert. If you only have 1 offer a month, 50-50, right? Or maybe 60-40, 70-30, depending on how hands-on you are with the process and developing that relationship and trust with the candidate. But here you really want to have the numbers in your favor. And how do you do that? By making sure you have multiple final rounds happening at any given time. You also want to have on average 2 offers extended at any given time or pending, right? The natural output of a focused system. The more offers that you have, the more they're likely to convert. The less offers you have, the less offers that are going to convert. The average independent recruiter with a specialized niche maintains around 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 active searches, closing around 2 to 4 per month at a $22,000 to $35,000 average fee. When I started my first year, I did $524,000. That's a big number, but if you break it down, you'll understand that really only reverse engineer to about 22 placements I did in that single year, about 2 to 3 placements a month. Now, all of a sudden, it seems a lot more realistic. Real quick, if you ever thought about starting your own recruitment agency or you're a recruiter struggling to land clients, you'll want to check out our coaching and implementation program. Inside, I give you the exact scripts, the outreach templates, and acquisition systems I used to hit over $500,000 my first year, scale to over $100,000 months, and do over $5 million in placements on my own desk. Our students are already hitting $30,000, $50,000, even $80,000 per month or more. Many of them doing it part-time. So if you want to learn the same playbook, the link's below. It's exactly what I use. Now back to the video. The weekly activity that produces 50K. So what do you have to do to yield that output? Perhaps this could be a very decent high-level sample framework and template that you can follow. So maybe coming to a new week on Monday, you want to have 2 to 3 new BD conversations with new prospective hiring managers and clients in your niche. Not all of them closes, right? So you want to have multiple or as many as you can. Tuesday through Thursday, it's all about candidate sourcing, intake calls, submission preps, managing those interviews, making sure that wherever your candidates are, early, mid, late rounds are going through the process very smoothly while maintaining a really positive candidate experience. And on Friday, perhaps you look back, you have a retroactive and retrospective of your week, and you're like, hey, what is the pipeline review? What follow-ups? What went well? What didn't go well? How did any updates with my client relationships, new clients, old clients, like any changes? Like what were situations that like were out of my control? What were situations that went well? Just so that you can really understand, synthesize, and make sure you come into the following week with a clear game plan and avoiding any mistakes you made in the previous week. It's all about getting incrementally better each week. 38 average hours per week. That's what the top performing independent recruiters work focused, not frantic. The correlation between hours and billings disappear above 40 hours. Process drives revenue, not time. Just because you work 80 hours a week doesn't mean you're actually a better recruiter. If 20 or 30 hours of the day, you're actually spending scrolling social media or really focusing on activities that don't push your business. When I had a recruiting job, I was the first to get there at 9 and first leave the office by 5, but yet I was the highest performer in the office because I was very efficient with my time and what I focused on every single second, minute, and hour. So again, hard work will only get you so far. And just because you've worked a sheer number of hours doesn't mean you're going to be a top biller. What most recruiters get wrong? Well, here are some of the misconceptions that keep most recruiters from ever reaching this level. Here's the truth. Some of the wrong beliefs. I need to talk to 200 people a day. That is completely false. If you talk to 200 people a day and they're the wrong fit, you are absolutely wasting your time. Versus if you talk to 20 to 30 a day or 10 to 15 a day, but they're all perfect, that's absolutely worth your time and you're being significantly more efficient. I need to be the cheapest to win clients. At a certain point, the lower the percentage fee, the lower the perception of quality of your service for a prospective client. If you feel like you offer a premium service, you want to advocate for yourself, stand firm and be confident and back it up with your execution and back it up with your fee and validate that. I need a big personal brand before charging premium fees. If you guys are watching my videos, you've probably found me on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Honestly, the truth is I started these for fun. These social channels did not push or build my recruitment business. It really was a creative outlet and you do not need a personal brand at all to be successful running and scaling a recruitment agency. In fact, that's probably going to help you even more, less distraction, less noise, and just to make sure people will treat you professionally all the time. Now, what actually works? You need 8 to 12 minimum active relationships on any going time in your ideal niche where you are a recognized, perceived expert, right? I added the word perceived there because in the beginning, especially for new recruiters, you may not feel like an expert, but you have to be confident and you have to give off the perception to prospective businesses that they should work with you because you know your stuff. If you are weak, if you're coming off and you're not confident, you're not coming off as an expert, why would someone work with you, let alone pay you 5 to 6 figures to work with you to get a job done? You have to be firm, believe in yourself, advocate for yourself, and get the job done. Price competition is cited as the primary BD strategy by only 11% of top billers versus 64% who cite niche authority and referral network as their primary competitive advantage. For someone who's been doing this a long time, like usually in recruiting or even outside of recruiting, when you need to hire an expert, you want to hire an expert. Let's say that like your tire popped in your bicycle or your car. You don't want to hire a random person. You want to hire a tire expert. Let's say that you're having electricity issues in your house. You don't want to hire someone who works with plants or someone completely. You want to hire an electrician, right? Same thing with a recruitment. If companies are looking to hire someone and they're looking to hire someone in a specific role, they want to hire a perceived expert in that role. It makes them feel better deep down inside. It makes them be able to sleep calmer at night, but also really just have that underlying feeling of just confidence and validation that they're working with someone that can help them solve their problems with minimal headaches and stress. What are the 3 levers that move a business to a 50K month? Lever number 1 is your average fee size. A 2% increase on a 130,000 search adds over $2,600 per deal with no extra work. So if you are already doing really well and your deal sizes are super low, then one of the levers you should look at is increase your average fee size. You can also do the same thing with the percentage as well. If you're going to put in the hard work, might as well get top dollar instead of working harder for a lower amount of cash. Lever number 2 is your fill rate. Moving from a 40% to a 55% fill rate on open searches equals to 37% more revenue. Getting clients is not how we get paid. It's doing the job, finding the right candidates for that client. That's how we get paid. And a lot of variables can make that more easy, make that more difficult, whether it's like your intake call. Do you even know how to close a client? Do you even know how to pick up a job well? Do you even know how to source, qualify, get the right candidates in process? Do you know how to really build that trust with candidates throughout the process? Do you know how to manage everything, clients and candidates, while in the process? What about offers, negotiations? Like every one of these steps has to be perfect. And every one of these steps can really push your fill rate from where it is now to significantly higher. And even just a 1, 2, 5, 10% lift can be huge, higher level zoomed out for your business. Number 3, time to fill. It's not about finding the right candidate. It's can you find the right candidate quickly before anyone else, before the company's recruiters, before other competing external recruiting agencies. Cutting your average days to placement by 20% compounds across all searches. So as an example, for my agency, when we pick up new searches, we try to send them 4 to 6 people in the next day or 2 minimum, right? Sometimes even in the same day. And just by doing that alone, on a speed factor alone, we are beating everybody else. A 5-point fill rate increase combined with a 2% fee produces a 28 to 34% annual revenue increase with no new clients required. So without even thinking about new tools, new tactics, these are some easy levers that can absolutely push your business forward. It's absolutely a repeatable process, not just luck. A $50,000 month is not restricted to 20-year veterans. We have people who are 1 month in, 90 days in, 6 months in, 3 months in, who are hitting this and significantly more. Year 2 operators achieve this consistently, and here's why, and here's how you can do it. Number 1, it's not luck. It's a repeatable process and a system you can document and improve. Number 2, it's not a fluke. The same inputs reliably produce the same outputs every time. Recruitment business is simple. What goes in is what goes out. And if you understand exactly how to optimize efficient the inputs, your outputs significantly will improve downstream. Now, it's not reserved for veterans or for established recruiters. We've got year 2 operators. We've got people who just started the business hitting these placement levels and significantly more. If they can do it, you can do it too. And natural output, it's of a focused niche, a quality pipeline, and a working system. Independent recruiters who document their process and track leading metrics report 41% higher billings in year 2 than those who operate ad hoc, according to a study. So what does your path to your first 50K month look like? The system is clear. The math is even clearer. Here's how to start. Number 1, lock in your niche. Choose one niche where you have existing knowledge, passion, interest, or relationships. It's the easiest way to get started. And if you don't have anything, pick one. You can always choose it later. Number 2, build out your pipeline. Develop 8 to 10 active searches within that niche. Let's get searches going for candidates. Let's get searches going for clients. Start closing them. And step 3, implement your cadence. Run a weekly process and track your 3 key levers consistently. Make sure you have a clear ordering system and accountability system to make sure nothing goes left unturned. And you're really making sure that every single week builds upon the effort and the results of the following week. If you want the full system, if you're curious about it, follow the link to get started with the complete framework and resources down in the description box below. If you guys are hitting this level or significantly higher, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and love to continue to cheer you on. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video. In any other business, $50,000 sounds like a huge number. And while that is, I'm hoping that this video gave you a little bit more clarity, a little more confidence, and also excitement, how you can obtain these numbers in recruitment. $50,000 a month could really be just 1 placement, conservatively maybe 2 placements a month. That's it. And if you understand exactly how to establish the right fundamentals, the foundation, the systems, applying the right technology layer, and making sure you have a clear game plan, like this can be you and significantly more. So if you want to see more business game plan breakdown videos like these, comment down below. But really appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.